And welcome back to Every Best Girl Dies Horribly. Tenko died, so it's too dark in here, we can't investigate. If we wanted to, we're going to bring some candles from the other rooms too to brighten it up. It won't be necessary. It won't be necessary at all. Oh, this is going to be a super awesome combo. Show them, Kibo, show them your new power. New power? Yep.
I, Iruma, the gorgeous girl genius, have installed a new function in Kibo.
Which was probably that one scene that was super awkward
Just
there.
leave it to me. I will become the guiding light that shines on you all.
Shine on, shine on! Shine on, you crazy fucking diamond!
Wait, is that a reference to a song? Oh, you can see the light coming from there. Man, a lame function. You should have made him transform into Transformer or something. But it's just bright now. We can now hurry the investigation. Yeah, that's right. Kibo's flashing light function has been added to the pad. Why? That is concerning. Let's investigate the body first. Marker stone, I guess. This is the rock next to Tenko's body. It must have been. Rest your forehead in the place where place the stone. Just a stone I brought from the courtyard to be sure. Certainly, it's merely needs to be a marker for the forehead to rest upon, like this. Tenko had her forehead on the rock and settle over it. She had her make herself into a small figure, like for the cage, the marker stone. Oh, so much dealing with stuff right now. Tenko's dead body. She took her last breath crouching over like this. According to the Monokuma file, she only injured was a stab wound to her neck. It was fatal. Must have, considering it's caused instant death. We didn't hear screaming during the seance. Weird. Oh, wait. Rainers stood. We all not said a word until the seance was over. Would Tenko really have kept her mouth shut during the desperate pain? Her death might have not been instant, but she could have gone far before she bled out. She couldn't have gone far before she bled out. Gee, what do you mean? You were convinced about that, right? With a wound that deep, the victim is too shocked to do anything except die. You're speaking from experience, who cares? Quick death are my specialties. Yeah, it would make sense. Well then, that makes sense. The real question is, what was she killed with? I don't see a murder weapon around here. I don't see... Oh, you're right, I don't see an obvious murder weapon. What could be the clue? Her last moments... Oh man, that's such a terrible way for her to go. Body... Let's look at this crooked floor panel here. The floor panel is loose. This is one right under Tenko. Why is the floor? Floor loose. Who said to use this room? I can't remember.
If I remember correctly,
it wasn't like this before. I've come here and it was loose during the seance. Why would it come loose during the seance? The floorboard is thick and heavy and shouldn't loosen easily. Then someone must have loosened it on purpose. Oh, weird. This is all super weird. Oh, there's blood up here. You can see it there a bit. This is the cage used during the seance. Looking around, the 3 feet high and 5 feet wide. It's a pretty large cage. It's not big enough to, or it's big enough to fit a person inside. During the sands, Koichi covered Tenko with the cage. We were supposed to remove it as well. But it was Himiko who rushed and removed the cage first. And look at this, there's blood there. Blood on the bottom of the cage, probably Tenko's blood, yeah.
It's true.
I imagine so. Its splatter must have made when she was killed, which means Tenko was killed while she was inside the cage. I think you're right. Tenko was under the cage before the seance. But when the cage was lifted after the seance, she was already dead. If she was stabbed right through the cage and it was lifted, that would explain the blood stain rate. Perhaps she wasn't killed during the sands, but the exact moment the cage was lifted. That is possible. What does that mean? Weird. I want to check the sheet quick. The magic circle Kyon drew on the floor, well, at least it was. It's completely stumped over. I suppose it's unavoidable. Was this drawn with salt? Everywhere I perform a sentence, I always use salt. Are you feeling something? You sound ridiculous. Ridiculous. I have performed many successful scenes. Why? I even had a spirit enter my body. Shut up, I don't want to hear your stupid delusions. Maki doesn't beat around the bush. It's kind of refreshing, actually. I'm kind of refreshed to ever do that too. In any case, with all these footprints, I can't make out the original circle. We'll find out Kyon's lab if we use the writing in the Cage Dog Village document. Isn't that right, Kyon? He seems desperate. I suppose that makes sense. I want to see the cloth, please. Thank you. White sheet used for the sands. Can we see the other side for blood? It was placed on top of the cage, and Kyo was the one to remove it. This cloth is pretty thick. It's pretty similar to the window curtains, but it's completely opaque. And on the back, yep, there's a blood stain there. Okay, so this gives us a better clue on how things were then. Taking a moment to think here. It's a really small surgical kind of point, though. I don't know what to make of it. Looks like a blood stain around here in the middle of the sheet. But there's no hole in the fabric, which means Kyon wasn't stabbed through the cloth. She was stabbed while underneath the cloth. Weird. How? Oh, this is a really weird one. And this case could not matter at all. This wooden dog statue used during the scene, I can't believe it's called the Dog God. Was like something on top of the cage and then sparked it. There was that noise. That noise had to be it. During the sands, the wooden statue was on top of the cage. The four of us removed it. The wooden statue was pretty heavy. Kim said it was about 175 pounds. It's about the weight of 2 girls. Whoa, those would be some pretty light girls. Like, not even 100 pounds each. Ugh. What do you know about girls? Having you ever touched a woman besides your mom? Oh, Maki's really bringing it. I'm kidding anyways. God, her jokes are really weird. If it's such a heavy thing on the top of the case, and Tenko wouldn't be able to get out so easily.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. That doesn't sound like you're kidding either. Was she struggling but she couldn't scream or something before because she was hit in the throat? Maybe. Still, it's kind of weird. What do you have to say to me? I said things that made Tenko look suspicious, and now this. I'm sorry, Tenko. It's okay. You can cry later, huh? Crime will bring Tenko back, and if we don't investigate thoroughly, you'll die too. We need to find the culprit and pin it down. The culprit for Tenko and all of us. You're right. Tenko would want us to figure out so she would have no regrets. That would be the best way we can do it. Anything from Makiro? Do these floorboards seem a little unstable to you? Stuff walking here, the floorboards weren't nailed down, they were just laid atop a crisscross pattern. That's what Gunta told me. It's probably the reason why it's a little unstable. There's only been laid on top, that's why they're unstable. The floorboards are fairly thick and sturdy. I could imagine they could be loosened easily. But if someone wanted to remove the floorboard, they could do so easily, right then? Yep, I suppose. So she was attacked from underneath, right? Like, that had to be how it was. Oh, I think I know how it was done. Yeah, I know how it's done, but it's a spoiler. I only know how it's done because of things I know from outside the game. But the question is, where's the murder weapon then? The candle hanging is the only source of light in the room. There's no windows without the candles, it's pitch black. But how did Tenko, or the culprit, kill Tenko in complete darkness? Now we gotta play the not being too obvious something in this game there. Himiko, you gotta be strong, Himiko. Gunta, if you shake Himiko that much, she'll break. Don't break her. But she's not talking. It's not like Himiko. It's not even here. She must be in shock over Tenko. Let's leave her be right now. Okay. Himiko. Anything you have to say, Kiba? Leave it to me. I've become the light source guy just trying to way through.
Why?
Andy first, then Tenko. Gunta is so ashamed. Why Gunta can't protect friends? Because people are smarter than Gunta and know how to work around you, unfortunately. What do you have to say, Kyun? Why did this happen? Because there's a murderer afoot. Kyun, you know the murder was pretty shocking. Of course, I'm pretty shocked about this as well. But why did the seance fail? You performed the steps flawlessly. He seems more concerned by that than the murder. And if it's performing the caged child again and some Tenko spirit this time, cut the crap. Just tell me what happened during the seance. Both you and Suichi were present. Did she get killed during the seance? It's true, but the best way to move past what happened, to know what fail seance, whatever, just hurry up now. At the time, in order to begin the seance, we had Tenko's spiritual medium positioned her as the turtle with the magic circle, so we touched her head on the stone marker. Then Soichi and Koichi placed the cage over Tenko. After we placed the cage, white cloth over her, all four of us placed the one cage of the gold dog god on top of her. After we stood in the four corners, Koichi and Soichi blew out the candles. We finally sung the caged child song, and the seance could have been completed before. Now that you mention, I did remember hearing a strange noise during the song. Yeah, that thud would probably have been the murder. Sounded like breaking wood almost, though. Mystery to me as well. I thought someone must have tripped, and perhaps it was a pretty loud sound for someone tripping, perhaps Kyun or something else. And then what happened? Then I called out to her and replied. I had Soichi and Koichi relight the candles. And then we removed the items with the magic circle in the opposite order. All four of us removed the dog statue, then I took off the white cloth. Himiko ran over the cage and lifted it. That pose. It sounds like Tenko definitely killed during the seance. There's no doubt about that. But it would have been difficult and dark. Besides, she was in the cage, yes. Then she was killed. Yes, that is not. That is a problem. Yes, there's another problem. That is why even did the seance fail, I simply can't figure it out. Because magic is bull. Maybe someone moved from the corner or did some sneak around here. Obviously, since the seance was clearly a sham, Maki never was one to pull punches. I like Maki more and more every time going around here. It's just, she's so much better after we dropped the child carrying bull. That was just annoying. Tell me about these adjustments you made, Miru. Investigation baton is over and shut up. It's all thanks to me and Kibo and its new function. Now then, Kunt Fu Killer is obvious. One of you stupid assholes who signed up for this bullshit seance in the first place. No, that's not necessary. Seriously, the seance was clearly set to lure her in and then kill her, but why? How could someone who wasn't in the room kill her from underneath? So you believe Tenko was killed during the seance? Crochet. There's no other possibility. Shit for brains. God, I don't know. You know that? She had to be killed during the seance because she was either here or she was moved underneath the floorboards, which is like insane to say that. Is it true Tenko was alive before the seance began? This is the point of no return, Tenko. After this point, you mustn't speak. Next time you open your mouth, it will be empty speaking through you. Understood, and I never will not say a word until the seance is over. Or ever again! Tenko answered Kyun. At the point she was certainly alive, but the candles relit. She was dead, so that's how we know it. She had already been killed, which means she was killed in the dark. Positive of it. The exact time Tenko was killed after the candles were blown out. That may be an important point in the case. And then this length function. We should have made him transform into something. There's something we need to still investigate left. Ruin magic circle. It has to be something with the body, right? We have the rock there. Body, anything but full blood. Thanks for the huge help. Yeah, I don't know where the murder weapon is. This is clearly what was pushed before. Anything but the iron cage. It's one of these moments that's just super annoying. I missed the tab function. I know it might have been cheap as hell, but the tab function was super awesome. Hole in the corner. Ooh, that is a thing. There's a small opening in the corner here. Oh, this is big clue. Doesn't look big enough for a person to get through, but still. A hole, it looks like the space underneath the hole on. I can see something below, just grab it here. Something dropped there. Was something dropped here? Wait.
Hey.
After we checked everywhere else, why don't we go under the floor and see for ourselves? Let's go. It's pretty dark down there. Should we use the light? Let's bring a candle with Kibo's life from up here, who should be fine. Candle would be very dangerous down there, but sure. And I'll grab a candle and move the floorboard and get starting, okay? So there was something dropped back there, so we have to check maybe one of the rooms from around here. Pull off some of the floorboards near the hole and candle Maki. I need to go back. Down the hole and took the candle from Maki. We carefully made our way through the hole under the ground. Oh my, Wilson, that blood is still dripping. There are lots of spaces through here. I can move pretty easily.
Okay.
Let's look around for clues. It looks pretty stupid if we find no clues after crawling all the way in this place, yeah. So there's 2 blood splatters. Ooh, there's a pickaxe here. There's a scythe here. There's blood all over it. The blood on the scythe is fresh. This is it. This is the murder weapon. It came from my research lab. Ooh, weird. It did. The scythe is used as an assassinate a target. It can be thrown without losing any lethality. I would not guess that, but maybe. You can hold it from under your clothes too. It's kind of a weird weapon though. If she was attacked with this, she couldn't have stand a chance. The blade is 6 inches deep. Since Tenko was in the cage, she wouldn't be able to defend herself. But even with armor weapons, the culprit attacked Tenko in the cage from underneath, I'm guessing. The blade could have fit through the gaps in the cage, but it reached her neck. The cage was 3 feet high. Interesting. It would be able to stab it in 6-inch blade. Well, then it would depend on Tin's posture. I don't think it's impossible. Then her posture is in question. Hey, if the murder weapon was down here, why did the culprit must have thrown it away, right? Perhaps after killing Tenko, the culprit threw away the scythe underneath the floor in the darkness. But they couldn't have been under the floor the entire time. Either of those are possible. So is that where the hole is over there? Cross beam here. So there's a hole here. Look, part of the cross beam that supports floorboard is cut out. Neither the floorboard nor the portion is missing the same width. From what I can see here, it wasn't broken naturally, it was cut by someone. There should have been a saw in the warehouse. They should have been using that. The question is why. Another cross section is supporting the floor bottom, so it might not fall if the portion was missing. So what is this supposed to serve? The board underneath Tenko's body was loosened and the cross section was cut. If the culprit did all this, then why? To easily find this maybe and stuff like that. Bloodstain. Bloodstain is dripping through the gaps in the floorboard. Flesh blood is definitely Tenko's. Is this dry blood over here? Dry blood, yeah, that's interesting. There is a bloodstain underneath the loosened floorboard. This is pretty far from Tenko's blood dripping here. The under the same floorboard, this is definitely in. Why is there blood here? Hey, the back of the floorboard. On it too. You're right, there's a little blood on the underside of the floorboard. Did Tenko's blood splatter here when she got killed? Wonder, I can't really be sure,
Okay.
but these blood stains here are completely dry. Wasn't Angie stabbed from behind? I wonder if Angie was killed in a similar circumstance. That would explain the blood over here. But why would they do a double murder? Oh, we'll see. There must be some reason for this particular area. I'm thinking this is Angie's blood stain, and there must have been maybe like a similar seance thing earlier on. Oh, we'll see. Something we're missing. We got blood stain here. Cross section here. There. Whoa! That's a big hole. There's some wood cross. Has cornering is broken off, so I can see into the next room. This wall is empty. Right. Looks like a lot of there's wood along the wall. This is part of me had run away. It looks a lot back up. Poor reading today. It looks like natural rot. The hole wasn't made intentionally. I can get to the next room through here though. If I remember correctly, the next room is empty, right? Then the culprit could have gone from room to room, but moving underneath here instead of the hallway. That's true, but it would be difficult to move the underfloor. We did alright because we had light with us in the pitch black. It's impossible to move around here. But they could have found the missing floorboard bit then. Then they could have used light when they got here, right? True. They used light to move around from underneath. That is possible. I think I'm finished investigating here. That is weird.
Is that alright?
Maki, you want to head back? Back up. I'm glad you asked. I was starting to feel fed up with all this dust here. After Maki and I crawled out of this place, we put back the floorboards and we returned to the investigation. I don't even know where to go now. Maybe out of the room on the other side. We've only been investigating in this room. You sure that's wise? What do you mean? We should check out the other one. If Angie and Tenko had different killers, then the Blacken we vote for is the culprit who killed Angie first. That's what Monokuma said. Then we should investigate Tenko's death. We shouldn't we be investigating Angie's death?
Okay.
Yes, of course. But this is bigger than a killing game for the sake of the two a day. I need to reveal both of their deaths. Understand how you feel about why. But if we're planning on investigating the other client scene, we should probably hurry. Yep, leaving this place. Then, when I came into the hallway, a scene happened. Surprised I couldn't even imagine unfold. Please don't be a triple murder. What the fuck? No, no, no.
It's a lie!
Fuck you. Oh. I wish. I really wish that. Oh, fuck. Oh. I hate you. Did I surprise you? Were you going to scream and cry in terror? I was convinced. I'm not gonna lie. What are you doing here? I'm sorry, I just was a little lightheaded from some blood loss. Yeah, this is real blood. Okay, so what are you doing? I got curious about something. I decided to search the empty room next to me, and then when suddenly I stepped through a floorboard. You stepped through a floorboard. Geez, I got me good because I tripped and fell pretty hard. So this injury is not his joke then? If you lose consciousness, do it after you tell us everything. I'm sorry, my bad. I guess it was the Christ or the cross place, supporting floor. I simply stepped on it. That was my bad luck. The cross piece was gone, which means that there's another one of these. Oh, there's one in each one of these!
Huh?
There has to be. Don't tell me time's up. Time can't be up.
Confidence, dreams. That's what the killing game is all about. Killing game fans, hold your head high and watch with your own 2 eyes.
Comedy
Baseball,
is
soccer, mobile games.
Don't talk about mobile games to me.
Nothing compared to
To the killing game!
The killing game just can't be beat. Behold, students, the entrance to the trial grounds.
I guess time's up. Oh man, it's because you guys, I didn't have enough time to check something. What do you want to check? It's each one of those rooms there. I wanted to research the sands again. I brought documents for you guys, but unfortunately, I can't find anything new that could have been used as a clue. Code's perfect react to the sands was written into the document. He even drew the circle the exact same as in the picture. Not only that, but he used the exact same tools too. No surprise about the whole thing. I wanted to check the finer details, but to tell you that later. Okay, there's gonna be some shenanigans here. The class trial, see you there. God damn it, I hate relying on this kid, but we have to. I will say kokichi is probably written really well, but he's super annoying. Kokichi, yeah. Lost a lot of blood, will clearly affect this thingy. I'm gonna say that's him saying each of the rooms are set up the same. Let's get going.
That's true.
Okay, is Maki nervous? We should, I see, so we should get going. It's nervous time. Okay, are you staring at me? Do you want to die? Da, da, da. Let's make our way to the or not the crime scene, but the other thing. I gotta go to the judgment hall. Maybe we manually walk there just to check that nothing too shenanigan happened. Man, that's the game has pulled a couple really good ones on me. The last trial, I mean, I've totally screwed that up with the maid son not being my prime suspect instead of it being Koichi. Or not Koichi, Kaito. I feel bad for thinking it was Kaito, but the game puts such a focus on him that I was like, it really feels like Kaito. Especially after the Kaede thing. Get moving. Just get moving. I guess I'm not as good at these games as I thought I was. Bum, 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 bum. That raining piano. Jump, 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 jump. Jump, 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 jump. Everybody's here, and we'll go to part.
Oh dear.
It would appear we have all gathered. It seems there's less and less of us.
Oh.
That's how dying works. Unless we were to make more people. Less friends means it's harder to solve the mystery. Don't worry, I'm sure we got a little smarter now. Kunta. Yeah, Kunta do his best to help. Do you want to graduate from your super idiotic level, at least Kaito levels? What is that supposed to mean? More importantly, are you doing okay, Kaito? Yeah, I'm feeling better. Wow, Makiro sure did tech punch. It's your fault. You don't need to worry. Your dwelling numbers. Only dipshits have died so far. Oh, that's super mean. I don't like that at all. I know it's a tall order, but try to use your brains this time so I don't have to use mine.
Booyah!
The golden brain of mines are gifts for the entire world. It's as though I thought everything you open your mouth, you become less and less likable.
Rest in peace.
Arturo, please lend your power. Maybe it's difficult for Arturo to rely on Arturo considering what happened to Angie, whom Arturo loved most of all. She couldn't have relied on Arturo in the first place because Arturo's not there. But seriously, it's kind of funny to see a robot believe in a god, especially Arturo.
I also.
So what? Robots can believe in gods. Robots can do anything. Before I met Angie, I was a similar experience hearing voices in my you might call them inner voices telling me to do whatever. I am in trouble. How long are you going to say that? Arturo and ghosts don't matter right now. Yeah, the class trial is going so rough. We got to caught up in Monokuma's trap. His trap. He probably made the 4th floor so scary on purpose to prevent us from investigating. That didn't stop us. No, he didn't. Yeah, there's no way. It's okay, Kaido, you're strong enough. Soichi, say something. What should I say? Well, we're gonna call that a part before we even start the investigation. So we'll talk to everybody next time, and then we'll start the trial. It's gonna be maybe a longer part, and I'm really bad at pacing the trials out, so. But you guys take care, and have a fun time, and don't cut any floorboards, and don't psych me out with any fake deaths out there, or else I'll get mad at you. Take care.